Hi, I'm Kevin,
And I'm Amanda.
and we are serving up.
All that jam. A lighthearted look at the weekend jam bands.
Where we break down the jam scene's biggest stories,
Talk new bands.
upcoming tours,
And show reviews. A little laughing, some hot takes, and an always positive message for the community.
Getting to know the Texas trio Kyle Park and John Michael Whitby.
We are joined today by Kyle Park and John Michael Whitby, two-thirds of a new band that has come together called the Texas Trio. How you guys doing?
Good.
Really good.
We're fantastic. I got an email from your management. They said, hey, check this out. It fell in love with it. There is a weird connection for me. Whenever I think of the Texas swing, I think back to what was the guy's name? He has the club down there in Texas, the famous guy, Bob Wills, right? Bob Wills has a song called Bob Wills Boogie from back in 47 or so. And I've often credited it as the first use of guitar distortion, which ultimately led to rock and roll. So I've gone down a Western whole swing, and then I come across there's some connections with Asleep at the Wheel with you guys. Kyle, you opened for them at one point, correct?
Several times, but yes, as an individual artist, I've got 7 records on my own, a solo artist, and my very first gig as a 19-year-old with my own band playing my own songs was at the Broken Spoke in Austin at opening for Sleep at the Wheel, which, by the way, the person who got me that gig was John Michael Whitby. He's the reason I had that gig because he played with Sleep at the Wheel back then when I was 19.
And still do from time to time, but yes.
Yeah.
Are they still out there touring regularly?
Well, I think it's the Happy Trails tour.
Right.
I think the money's going up and the dates are slowing down. How about that? But yeah, so they're doing less. I mean, Ray's going to play golf. They're going to Europe a couple times this summer, and Ray's going to play golf in Ireland and Scotland. And I don't think he's done that before, kind of hung out. His sons are going over there with him, So anyway, he's getting a little older. But I mean, shoot, they're playing with Willie coming up a few different times. And so I don't know. These
How about
people,
getting older?
Are they going to stop? I mean, do you stop? Like what, if you're loving it and you're, still making money, I don't know. But anyway, he's slowing down, but still love
Right.
RB and the wheel.
I saw them at the Birchmere in 1991 when I was 20 years old. So they've been around a while because I've put a few years under my belt since then.
52 years. That's right. Yeah.
It's
right.
Great. When people talk about bands that have been around forever, they don't often get mentioned. But so you guys knew each other beforehand. Before, when you were 19, you were already friends, or you had worked together, or what was the deal?
So yeah, John Michael. When I was 17, I hired someone else to produce a 5-song EP of some songs I'd written, and John Michael was the hired piano player on that session. After the session, I guess you were 24 if I was 17. You gave me your
I
business
put the
card.
band together
John Michael
though
did.
for that deal in Austin.
That's true.
I
And
got
it was
all the
4
players
fifths
together. I think
if
it
I
was
remember right.
Lossberg.
Sanger
It
Miller,
was Lossberg and John
Jason.
Farrell.
Anyway, and then after that, he gave me his business card and said, "Call me if you ever need anything," And it was 6 months later or so. I was moving to San Marcos to go to school at Texas State, where he already lived, and I thought, hey, this is kind of a cool, it just seems like meant to be. And talked to him, became closer friends. I started playing him songs I'd written, and he asked if I needed a producer for the next record. Said yes, and then after that record was made, John Michael was my business manager for damn near 20 years, just up until recently, where just life's gotten in the way and things have changed, and now the Texas Trio is blossoming, and we're focusing more on that.
That's awesome, because I feel like if you've worked together in that kind of dynamic, you know each other really, really well. You have,
Oh yeah,
worked through a lot of different situations and scenarios, so that feels like a really good like foundation to
He
now
used
be
to live
doing
here
this.
too,
absolutely.
so
Yeah,
Yeah.
very cool.
I used to live in that house, and not to mention the same thing for John Michael and Jason. They were close and toured together for years with the Sleep at the Wheel before this band got together. And I've known Jason for years as well. With recording and different things. He played with on shows with me too. So we've known each other for 2 decades before the band even got together.
this is true. Yep.
So he lived there, you said.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah.
From
Yeah.
I have to get my numbers right. Probably from 2000 and 8 to like 12 or 13. That sounds right in my head, but something like that. Maybe 14.
Yep.
It was really cool
That's
because
right.
as manager artists, we got a lot of work done. Like we didn't have to go into work. I mean, for better or for worse, we'd wake up and start talking about business and go to sleep talking about business, and it allowed us to get a lot of work done back in the day, and it helped my really catapult my career and yeah.
5? You have what? 5 hit singles on the Texas charts?
I've had, I think, 10 or I think 11 number ones at this point over my career, and off of 7 records. It might be 12. My recent single just went number one a few weeks ago. It's called "A Broken Heart Like That," off my new album called All Nighters.
It's too many to count.
Yeah, I mean, who knows?
That's fantastic. So you guys, I guess the origin story, the legend that I'm hearing or that we're spinning about you guys is that you all played at a private party together, and that was the impetus for this.
Go ahead, John. Mike.
Yeah, I think so. People ask me to put different things together, and whatever it was years ago, but I think they asked me, and I don't know if they mentioned Kyle or Jason. Maybe they mentioned Kyle, maybe they mentioned Jason, but us three got together and we were off that night, whenever it was, and got a little list together before the gig, and we enjoyed it a lot. And I think we did again maybe or so, but we were like, man, maybe we can we're all from the same school, I feel like, so we mesh and have a love of country music, country western music, and western swing. So yeah, we're like, we can take it more seriously. And then the record came. We're just like Kyle said, life's in the way. It's like, man, we've all got children now, and it's just we're not 25 years old anymore, and so it's just taking a little bit more time. But yeah, we're so glad to finally put this thing out. So I definitely think it has some merit and some worth to it. So we'll see. But yeah, that's how we got together. Yeah, just booking gigs.
And to add to that, I just realized our first 2 or 3 shows, we weren't called anything. We were just John Michael and Jason and Kyle. We didn't have a band name. It was several shows down the road where we thought, this is a good idea. This is cool. We should really do this for more than just for fun. And here we are. It's still fun, but it's it's a little more professional now.
A little more business.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Well,
So
oh, sorry, go ahead, Kim.
man.
I was saying,
No, go ahead,
speaking
Amanda.
of the business, just considering the history that you all have and whatnot, getting into this now, how are you approaching, the band today maybe differently than you would have done 10 years ago, 15, just given the industry? Like, are you all switching up how you might be approaching gigs or, marketing or that kind of stuff?
Ooh, that's a loaded question, I think, because one, we're not trying to book gigs like we have. Well, we're not trying to book gigs like I do, or I try to stay busy, gone as many shows as I can a year, kind of, sort of. But the Texas Trio is not looking to bust it like that at the dance hall. We're just, I mean, like, we have other things going on. I mean, John Mike played for George Strait, Jason played for the Bob Wills Playboys, and I've got my own touring, and we're really looking to play more of the events that fit us and our desires, and I really think that festivals and those types of events that Western, like our demographic is very specific versus what other artists are doing. So I think it's important that we approach that differently. And then second of all, yeah, I mean, it's just 10 years. I mean, on the other hand, our demographic is different, I think, and I think we'll be able to do things the same way artists did 10 years ago because of we're not chasing after the college kids on. I don't know. It's a little. I don't know. To me, it's a little bit different. Maybe
Well,
John Mike can answer better than that.
it's we're not trying to chase anything, and we're not trying to play the game. We're just doing something that we love to do, and want to definitely more of a business approach, because used to they'd say, hey man, I'll give you this and that for pay, and you were there. I mean, I remember playing with like 3 bands one night, all the country guys, but now it's like, well, do I want to drive that far? Do I want to, it's all that junk. And but I think the business concept, that's right. Kyle has his career, Jason has his career, but I think we will play. I think following Asleep at the Wheel, I think following Lyle Lovett, things, that way, that vein, Riders in the Sky. So, yeah, I mean, if it turned into playing the Birchmere or playing, I'll just play the Opry with the Wheel, and we played the Franklin Theater in Franklin, Tennessee, and went up, and played all theaters. And so I think we could do some of that. It's just, yeah, we're not chasing the dream of the beer drinking country music today crowd. It's we wear some sport coats at least to start the gig until it gets too hot. So that's what we're following, that trail.
That's fantastic. Nice embroidery. Get yourself there.
You don't know. It's just a sport jacket. It's just a sport jacket.
Okay. I was taking you back to the 40s and 50s there.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we're not going that far. Yeah, not that far back.
Not that far back.
Not the
George
heavy
Strait.
jacket.
You play with George Strait. That's right. You play with George Strait, and you've got quite a few dates with him, don't you? This summer.
There are 10 shows. Yeah, there are 10 shows. Yep.
Yeah. That's fantastic. So what is that? I want to ask you about the Texas Trio set list, but just let me ask you about George Strait. Has so many albums and so many fantastic songs. How do you guys even wade through and hit all the hits even?
Well, the answer is that we don't. He does. So whatever. I mean, you can make suggestions or whatever, but I mean, ultimately it comes, same with Kyle. If Kyle wants to play or doesn't play the song, so it's the same thing with George. And he just has decades and decades to go through, like Asleep at the Wheel. People are yelling out songs, Space Boogie and all these songs. And Ray's like, oh, the new band doesn't know this, but yeah, George has a lot to go through. So.
Yeah, that's fantastic. So how did the song selection work with the, I guess, early Texas Trio before you guys even had a name, and now that you have an album coming up, are you writing specifically for this, or is it songs from all your guys' catalogs that you knew, or?
Well, the song selection is we know a lot of songs as far as cover songs, so we can. I mean, it's very broad, but as far as our stuff that we're writing, we're definitely writing stuff for the record and upcoming records. We've already spent a few days in the studio for album number 2, although album number 1 hasn't come out yet. We already have worked on number 2, so we're progressively thinking there. But yeah, when we right now with only one album out, with the set list isn't that hard to make. It's just pick our songs and a few more covers. But one of these days it'll be harder.
Right. So nothing out of your catalog, nothing off of any of your solo albums pop up, or
We'll play one or two of mine a night and one or two of Jason's per night. But just because for fun, we want to introduce ourselves as solo artists.
Right. I just Amanda and I think both always find that fascinating, how you pick, especially if you have a larger discography, how you go through and pick songs, how you deal with, like you were saying with Asleep with the Wheel, people yelling at songs that you don't even know anymore because it's been so long. Is the album coming out on a label, or are you guys doing this yourself? How's that working?
Independently, yes. So we will figure out where there's a few different options that we have, but yeah, there's no label behind it right now. A few people have asked me that, but I don't, I haven't approached anybody about that, but we'll just see what happens after this. I think this is a independent release, and then it's like Heidi, our publicist. She's like, "Well, when are y'all playing? What are you doing? This and that." And I'm like, "Well, we've got this festival here or there. We'll see what happens." So I think if New West Records, wanted to get behind the next release, then we could definitely talk about that. So we'll see how this one goes. But it's just us right now. Just us and you guys going Texas Trio.
There we go. I was thinking about, as you were talking about, the dates and the tour and everything, it made me remember that just like in so many other genres, there are a lot of niche kind of corners within country music. And you even mentioned that a couple minutes ago. And I love the fact that, you all know kind of like this is where we are. Kevin and I, the reason I'm talking about this is Kevin and I talk with a lot of artists that kind of fall under this very general jam bands umbrella, but that could encompass electronic, music, could bluegrass is in there, you name it, funk. In terms of country music itself, kind of the big picture, is it just so like wide and broad? Like, do you feel as a genre, it's easy to even pin down like what country music is right now?
You can answer that, Kyle, but that's two different questions right there. The last question was, what is country music right now? So we should answer the one before that.
The easier one is that that's the good thing about like the Texas Trio and understanding what our what kind of music we desire to play. Like we're not going to play a song that was written or recorded after the year 2000, which is not going to happen. It hasn't happened. It's not going to happen. We don't want to play that. I mean, we could. I mean, have we, John Michael? I mean, even maybe like one time for a weird request for an extra $100, like for 30 seconds. But I'm just being funny. I don't think we played anything. Actually, only a few songs from the 90s have we even played. Like we just kind of always stick to. Even the 80s have seemed like it's a little too progressive for our band. We kind of stick to like 70s and older. We have, and so therefore it makes our selections a little bit easier to decide. But now, yeah, what is country music? I mean, oh man, I don't. It really is like it is like the mutt genre of music. It's like I feel like it's kind of like everything but not, and they put it in one big bowl. It's like it's just not quite rap. Well, let's put it in country. It's not quite rock and roll. We can put it in country. And it's not quite pop music. It's not quite good enough to be on like pop music. So let's put it in country. And then there's a few then there's Cody Johnson, and there's like a few more guys, John Party, who like it really does sound like country music to me, and it's fantastic. And then but that's just like a little sliver of the country music pie. And the fact that like a George Strait and a Cody Johnson and how many guys, Hardy and Morgan Wallen and Brantley Gilbert and all those guys can be on the same radio station, the same festivals. Like I don't even know that just goes. It's different. It's a very flowing genre.
Well, and I don't really care what kind of music. I don't care what kind of music it is as long as it has substance. And there's a lot of stuff on the radio, and it lacks that it doesn't have any. So, so
Yep.
we like some of that, and some of that we don't. So, but we've played some stuff from the 2000s. I mean, like Run came out with George. It depends on our audience too, because if we're playing Michael Hearn's Big Barn Dance in Taos, New Mexico, and Michael Martin Murphey is playing headlining that night, then we're not going to play Mark Chestnut Blame It on Texas. But if we're playing a fundraiser in Wichita Falls, then we're probably going to play that Mark Chestnut song. It just depends.
Yeah.
But ain't nothing going to change with the sport coats and the cowboy hats and the boots. And so, sure, if you go down, I think Kyle Parks, Jason Roberts, John Michael Whitby's love is going to be the same. And you mentioned Bob Wills, and it really starts with that guy for me, definitely. So
for me too, and
I
definitely Jason
watched
Roberts.
your there you go. I watched your channel, Kyle, on YouTube. You have a little thing about the Texas Trio, and you keep talking about original country and Western swing. Is there can you differentiate between the two things, or are they just different names for the same thing?
Oh no, they're different. I'm just really not good at describing how they're different. There's something about the way it feels and my first thought that comes to mind is that I think that Western swing is a little less less structured and less like the solos are more jazz and free and they're different every time, and the country sometimes tends to be very like in a narrower lane and more specifically produced maybe, and like a country song might have the same solo every night in a row, and a Western swing song is like it's never the same two notes ever. So that's one example at least.
that's good. Very true.
Is there lyrical overlap between the two?
For sure. I mean, a lot of Georgia stuff in the '80s and '90s was Western swing driven country music. It was kind of right on that gap, on that peak. I think, but
Yeah, I think that like Luke
Clint
Combs
Black
doing
too.
uh, uh, Tracy Chapman Fast Car. I mean, I don't know the year that Fast Car came out, but it was a great song then. And then
It had to be the 80s.
yeah, the '80s, and so that song's I don't know 30 something years old for sure. So in fact, and we need to record a holiday song or Christmas song, whatever you want to call it. Bob Wills had Christmas songs, Gene Autry, all that, and we need one because people are, after Thanksgiving or before even now, it's like, good Lord, you see all this stuff. Halloween's like right around the corner. It's April, but we do need so we can go back, yeah, and I think you can make an old song new, and it's kind of sad because I asked my son driving to school today, Working Man Blues came on. I said, who's singing this song? And it got quiet. And I said, Mary, do you know? And he said Merle Haggard. And Mary said, I told him. But I think you can go back and make the old songs new. And the kids now, the people that hear it, they're not gonna know, and they're probably not gonna care. So we've got a lot to choose from, I guess.
All right. You guys ever do any polkas? One. I have a suggestion for a Christmas song. Jim Reeves, the Merry Christmas Polka.
Ah.
I'm gonna ask my buddy Jimmy Stern.
I'm
gonna write it down right now.
It's a great one. Everyone loves a polka. Most everyone.
Well, we have one on the new record. It's called. It's right here on this new CD. It's called the Jesse Polka. The Jason Roberts played, and we enjoy doing that. I do. I don't know if the other guys do. There's one right there. You could ask him the Christmas.
I enjoy it. Jesusita y Chihuahua is the name of the song, right? That's right. The Jesse Polka.
And when does the album come out? When can someone buy it? Can they pre-order it? Is it only going to be digital? What's the deal with it?
May 17th it comes out, and we do have CDs, and we will be available digitally and most likely on vinyl as well. And pre-order it not yet, but soon.
Yeah, he wants the records. He wants the big ones.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So what's the hit?
The hit.
Hold on, let me count.
Yeah.
Hold on a minute. Let's see. Hit. The hit that Kyle and Jason wrote to me is "Bad Luck Cowboy," and
Okay.
we got to play a few shows with hit songwriter Dean Dillon, and I let Dean. We went to play a few holes of golf. Me and Kyle and Dean. You remember we stopped and saw that snake in the middle of the road? But anyway, I snuck this in my old car because it still has a CD player. And he really loved Bad Luck Cowboy. He said, "You need to send that to George Strait. I love it." And so that's the song for me, Bad Luck Cowboy.
Yeah.
I really
You gonna
enjoy. I
make?
mean, yeah, Miss Molly's my favorite because we all get to pick around, sing, and play. It's a great, I don't know, description of the Texas Trio. That's why it's an old favorite, but I love it.
Is there gonna be a single, or you're just coming right out with the album?
There's going to be some pre-release tracks, and that's what Heidi's doing right now. So, yeah, and we'll have it available for pre-order here. We just talked with our guy this morning, so we'll get that. We're getting all this stuff together here.
Right? Do you do Bandcamp?
What's that?
No. Do you do Bandcamp? It's a website where you can like upload your songs to, and then someone can give you $5 if they want to download the song.
I'm gonna write that one down as well.
It's a great one, and they're known for kind of giving more of the profits back to artists as well. So
yeah, Bandcamp Friday, they give every 100% goes to artists if someone buys something.
Pretty cool.
Thank you. I thought you asked me if I'd been to Bandcamp before, and the answer is no. I never.
I did too. I was like, I don't know what he's.
You were like, I don't want to tell that story. So how do you, with this new project coming in, how do you see that the industry has changed? I mean, see, you're selling CDs. CDs are not the go-to music source anymore. You know, it's Spotify. How do you navigate that?
Carefully. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know that I've definitely thrown away a lot of my old CDs. I mean, I had thousands and thousands of my old CDs. They're just I throw those away. But with us, I mean, we don't print that many, but we'll still sell them. I mean, I still sell CDs. I do. It's absolutely slowed down, and something tells me that we're gonna have a few more people that will like our music that still use CDs. You know, with the Western swing demographic.
That's exactly right. Yeah.
We were talking to a guy, Zach Nager. He's a drummer from a band called the Gray Boy All Stars. We were talking about 8-tracks, and that people have been releasing stuff on 8-track.
Really?
Wow.
New stuff?
Yeah. Yeah.
That would surprise me because I knew about cassettes. That comes up every so often. Even that's not a typical thing. I'm a big cassette person. Kevin knows this, so I have hundreds.
Boxes.
But yeah, the
boxes of them. Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
CD towers. Remember CD towers? I mean, I've got so many freaking CDs.
I always have this image of musicians have a closet in their house that when you open it, it's like in the cartoon when everything falls out on you, and it's all full of merch and CDs and stuff like that.
This is true.
It's not far from the truth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Too soon.
Right.
Too soon,
so
Kevin.
are there any
still a fresh wound? Right.
Are there any dates you can throw out? Any chance that people are going to be able to catch the trio?
We've got the Michael Hearn thing. That's all the way in September. So we're working on a couple other things. So it's well, I tell you what, Kevin, we're for hire, so people should just hire us. See, that's a great way to see us
We
right
do have
there.
like 4 or
So
5 privates coming up, but yeah, nothing public.
this is true.
Right. Now, did they do Western swing festivals like they do country festivals or blues festivals?
For sure. For sure. It's a little difficult getting on those festivals as
Same
a
deal, different
brand new
demographic.
artist, but yeah.
Right, right. It's tough to break into. But with the covers, I mean, from what I hear, you guys are like a human jukebox.
This is
We know a
correct
bunch
in the
of
country music
songs.
world.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's the emphasis. Kyle and Jason wrote a song called "More Than Just a Wall," and it's about any memorial wall, geared toward first responders and people that have died and for our country and in the past and whatnot. But um, I think it's just it's not going to be on this record, but it's a fantastic song, and we have plans for that song. But Jason Roberts is big on writing your own stuff. He always wants to do all original stuff. So, and those two guys are great writers. I'd love to get in on some of that action as well. But there's going to be more original stuff. And then, if Dean Dillon has a song that he thinks we could do, or he'll let us do, or whatever, then we can do some of that stuff. Um, but yeah, and anyway, the emphasis will be on the original music, and so we want to be. You said human jukebox, and that's exactly right. And that's another tough thing to manage. Are you an artist, or are you a cover band, or you know what I'm saying? So I think we can do a whole lot, but I think we can write our own music and play it, and then we can go back so far that you're not going to know it. I could say that Kevin wrote this song yesterday, and it could be from 1948, Cindy Walker song, nobody's going to know that. So, but
Billy
we'll do more.
Strings, bluegrass guy. Billy Strings is a master at that. You don't know whether the song was written 100 years ago or yesterday, and
Yeah.
always appreciate that.
Yeah, but what you said earlier about the substance piece, to me that's huge. And you all have your own takes on what that would be, and being able to blend songs from different time periods is a wonderful thing. To have it all feel kind of cohesive, so that seems like it's a big part of what you all do. Is that song selection is like super important to getting what you want to get across.
It is
Thank you.
when before we'll play the big barn dance. Kyle's really good at we got to have this list, and we'll think about like we'll play Route 66, and it's just us three playing, and we're getting it, and but we want to show some. If they sing More Than Just a Wall, or if we play Miss Molly, because we all get to sing a verse on that, and we all get a solo on that, But he's really good. They're good about thinking about playing, and good quality, for sure. So
Where do you guys play Route 66 in the set? The reason I ask is there is a live at Bob Willis's, I guess, in Texas, Asleep at the Wheel, and Route 66 is the second song listed, right? And I always think of that song as like a set closer or an encore. You leave them running into the streets singing "I Get My Kicks" on Route 66.
Mm-hmm. We usually play it in the front third. I
Right.
don't really know exactly why. I think it's mostly like it's I don't know why it is.
Fair
well,
enough. Fair enough.
It feels good. I don't
we get
know.
them going. We try to slow song, fast song in between songs. So, but that's a good point, Kevin. I think if Ray Benson ever gets to 34 minutes, he can hear you say that. But I'll tell him that you said that. And well, you know what? He goes like this. He goes Cherokee Maiden, Miles of Texas, Route 66. So if Kyle said it's number 3 when we play, then I don't know. Maybe we're following RB.
That's where it lives.
I said top third, not yeah.
Right. How do you guys respect the traditions that you pull from, but push the music forward?
Again,
Kyle?
carefully. Yeah,
Very
I
careful.
don't know. That's a good question. Just, I mean, I don't think it's intentional, whatever we do as far, I mean, when me and whoever are writing a song, it's just like, I mean, especially if me and Jason or John Michael are writing a song, we know we're writing with the intention of being a Texas Trio song, so we're just not going to write a pop song that day. It's not going to come out rappy or pop. It's going to come out the way it should. There really isn't a specific answer. Like it's not like, okay, we have to write something for us today. It's like, no, it just happens. I think that answers your question.
Well, I think that's who we are. I mean, your country, and and Jason's country, and I'm country, and so that's who we are. So I don't. Maybe we are pushing it forward. This is getting all, but maybe we are pushing it forward because I'm 45, and Kyle's 38, and Jason's, how old is he? 47, and so we've. I mean, it says on our website we've have over 60 years of live touring experience and recording and everything. So I guess I can't answer that. I mean, Kyle says very carefully, but it doesn't matter. I really don't care. Some people are going to like this, and the people that don't, I don't care about it. So I think we're going to have a swingy edge to it, and we do want it to be new and fresh and people to enjoy it. I mean, we do want to appeal to everybody, but I guess in a new way for sure. Maybe that's us, you know.
My granddad always told me, whatever anybody thinks about you is none of your business. So
it's pretty good.
God bless
like
that man. So you guys got anything else you want to throw out for us?
What does Jason want to say, John Michael? What would Jason say if he were here right now?
Well, you know, let me tell you, he's a thoughtful person, but not really. I mean, we're so proud. I've known Jason forever. So is Kyle, the Grammy Award winner. He's Bob Wills reincarnated for sure. Grew up with Johnny Gimbel being there. I mean, I hired him for bass guitar one time on a gig. So the guy can play anything. He sings great.
Right.
He really can.
You know, and some people say, well, I was born 50 years too late or 60 years too late, but maybe he wasn't, you know. And so
right.
I want to give this project enough enough chance to see, because nothing more than I love these two guys, and to ride on a bus together or to fly, and we all play golf, that's for sure. So it'd be fun, and doing what you love and playing your music. So
right. Jason was 18 years in Asleep at the Wheel. He like doubled your tenure, didn't he?
Yeah, I was 8.5, but a fun fact from that is what I heard the day after he graduated Lampasas High School, he got on the bus. He got on the wheel bus. So
that's fantastic. He knew what he wanted. Good for him. I got on the bus, but I went and followed the Grateful Dead around for the next six years.
That's nice.
That was the bus I got on.
If you are enjoying All That Jam, please like and subscribe to our social media channels at All That Jam Pod on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, or visit our website, allthatjampod.com. Make sure to sign up for our email list and tune in every week for new episodes.
Also, look for full interviews on our YouTube channel. And remember, stay beautiful, but don't stay underground too long.